Earlier, I used to we have our own audio, but we got this, yeah. Yeah. And you should be good. These are on now. Yeah. And so whenever you're ready, all this is just an on and off switch. You just slide it over.
Well, yeah, we're ready now, so can I turn it on now? Or?
No, just whenever this person comes in. I guess whenever they're ready to speak.
Shake your head, yes or no.
Ask again.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Call one of them out.
Yeah, they should be able to hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting yes.
Yeah.
Are you all able to hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay, we'll start
Yes.
right at 8:30. We'll begin the meeting and then, we will move to the informal appearances section of the meeting. Ms. Walker, you do not appear on our agenda today. The commission is unable to hear you today because you're not on our agenda. We did not get your paperwork in time, so we will appear today.
Okay, so when's the next meeting?
One moment, I can't hear you.
When's the next?
We turn that on.
It's on.
When's the next meeting? I can't hear you.
It's on.
And is your volume up? Okay, Miss Walker, you can try again.
Okay, when's the next meeting? I can't hear you.
The next meeting is on June 11th.
June 11th?
Yes.
Okay. Is that a Zoom one or is there like one in Chattanooga I can go to before
The
then?
one in Chattanooga is today. We're in Chattanooga today. The next meeting that is on June 11th will be in Nashville.
Okay, when it's that one? And that's the June 11th?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Want everybody to call the meeting to order. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. We're going to start with your public disclaimer and local by this paper. Thank you.
Morning. Notice of the April meeting of the Tennessee Real Estate Commission, including dates and time, has been posted on the Tennessee Real Estate Commission's website September 15th, 2024. Additionally, this month's agenda has been posted on the website since Wednesday, April 2nd. Individuals who wish to make public comment on an item listed with posted during the scheduled public comment period will need to sign in the provided sign sheet or by the name or chat box online. It is requested that comments be released minutes out of respect for others. I will now call. Chair Diaz.
Here.
Vice Chair Barrett.
Here.
Commissioner Moffitt.
I cannot hear you. I think I saw your mouth say Mr. Lowe, but
I can't hear anything.
Okay. Colby Miller, are you present today? I do not see Colby Miller. Okay. Lastly, Casey Williams and Principal Broker Jeff Allen. Okay, let's see. Casey. Here. Oh, there you are. Oh, very good. All right, we will begin with candidate A, Brandon Muller.
Okay. Can't hear you again.
I don't know how this is gonna go for everybody. The candidate for the informal appearances, we get an opportunity to speak and tell us and describe the circumstances that caused them to appear before us today. Their sponsor, the principal broker, will also get an opportunity to speak. Commissioner will be able to ask questions. And after all the questions have been exhausted, we will then entertain a motion to approve or to vote. A motion to approve this candidate's application, and then we will vote. If there's any question, please hold on to those questions until it's your turn. But at this moment, we'll go ahead and forward candidate A. Mr.
You can unmute your mic, Brandon.
Hi, sorry, I couldn't hear my name.
Could you speak up a little louder, please?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
And you could speak up a tad bit louder.
Hi, hello.
Much better, thank you. Did you hear the instructions for your appearance today?
No, ma'am. It's very hard to hear anything.
It is very hard. Okay, I'm gonna have Chair Diaz, we go over the instructions again for everyone.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Mr. Murphy. So we'll just go ahead and give us a brief statement as to the circumstances that caused you to appear before us today. And then we'll ask you some questions, and then we'll hear from your principal broker and ask them some questions, and then we will have a motion to vote on your application. So when you're ready, just please go ahead and give us that brief statement.
Okay, so my name is Brandon Mullins Lowe. I currently reside in Kodak, Tennessee. I'm a father of two beautiful children, and I'm a very hardworking man. I come before the board today because I am trying to get my acquisition license for real estate in the timeshare industry. Um, can you guys still hear me? Sorry,
Yes.
my video went away. Oh, there we go. So, about 10 years ago, I lived in Florida. I grew up a very rough childhood. I was raised by my grandparents. I didn't have my parents really around. And I ran with the wrong people. I was young, I was an adolescent. I made bad decisions on the people that I hung out with. And I ended up getting in a little bit of trouble because I didn't choose my friends very wisely. This was almost 10 years ago. Again, I'm a hardworking man. I'm a loving father. I learned my lesson 10 years ago when I did what I did and ran with the people that I ran with. But I've not been in really any kind of trouble since then. I've done the best to be an outstanding citizen and a law-abiding citizen. And I just hope that the board will grant my license so I can continue to be a hardworking man and do these things for my children and make money for my children. I can't hear anything from you guys.
That's okay. We're ready to go from the broken now.
I'm
Can
sorry,
y'all-
what was it?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, my name's Sue Acey and I'm the broker at Wyndham Smoky Mountains. I just want to say that Brandon has been with us for about 7.5 months working in a different capacity. Since he's been here, he's been promoted and he's been doing a really good job. And we would really appreciate y'all passing him. He's changed, and I think this is a good situation for a second chance. Any questions for me?
Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Acey? Is there a motion? Motion to approve. Second. I have a motion by Mr. Gahn to approve this candidate's application, seconded by Commissioner Ferris. Any further discussion?
Thank you so much.
Let's vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries unanimously. Congratulations, sir, and good luck.
Thank you
welcome
very
to-
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
You're welcome to stay on the line and listen to the rest of the meeting, or you can go about your day. Ms. Baker, candidate B.
Candidate B is, and if I mispronounce your name, I do apologize, Huston Kane and principal broker Chris Craval. He is before us today due to a felony possession and felony forgery charge. He has taken and passed the timeshare salesperson exam. His statement and letter of recommendation can be found on your iPad.
Mrs. Hoskin, did you hear the instructions at the beginning?
I'm sorry?
Did you hear our instructions at the beginning of this part of the meeting? About a brief statement, et cetera?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my name is actually pronounced with a J. It's a Turkish name. It's pronounced with a J, so it's Josh Kun. Josh Kun, you can call me Josh. From New Jersey. I just moved here about 3 months ago. Joined Wyndham pretty much right off the bat. Loved it. I did my studying, passed the exam. Love the environment, love the people. As far as my history, I am an addict in recovery. I have about 5.5 years clean. Like the other gentleman said, I did make some bad decisions throughout my life, but I have absolutely changed. I do have a 1-year-old, actually a 13-month-old now, baby boy. I've gotten married since. I currently live in Mount Juliet in Tennessee. Sorry about the noise. While I've been waiting for the hearing, I had to pick up another job because we do have bills. So throughout my life, I've been a marketer slash contractor. I have my own contracting business in Jersey. So I'm working for a company called TW Frierson right now. It's a general contractor for commercial work. Just to make some money until I have the hearing, and hopefully you guys approve me, and then I can transfer my way back to Wyndham, God willing. But yeah, I definitely am grateful for the opportunity. I hope you guys take my word into consideration. Really looking forward to this line of work and to continue my recovery and just kind of give my son and my wife a good life. That's pretty much all I got.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Claiborne,
Yes.
tell us why you would like Mr. Judge School to join your firm.
Yeah, so he has passed our internal background checks. He has done our 2-week training class. He's done very well through all of that, and we're excited for him to be part of our team.
Thank you, sir. Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Judge School or Mr. Claiborne? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Mr. Gwynn to approve, seconded by Commissioner Moffett. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's say all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries unanimously. Congratulations, sir, and good luck.
Thank you very much, you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I was looking forward to this.
Have a good day, sir.
God bless. Thank you, Chris.
Ms. Baker, candidate C.
Candidate C is Colby Miller with Principal Broker Chris Claybaugh. She is before us today due to a felony theft charge. She has taken and passed the timeshare salesperson exam. You will find her statement and letter of recommendations on your iPad. Mr. Claybaugh, it doesn't appear that she is appearing with her principal broker today. So we will move on to candidate B. Next we have Jules Charisma, and if I mispronounce your name, I do apologize. He is before us today due to a felony DUI charge. He has taken and passed the timeshare salesperson exam. The statement of the recommendation can be found on your iPad. And he is appearing with Vincent Storms today. Is Vincent present? Is your principal broker present?
Yeah, she should be getting on right now. Phyllis should be getting on. I don't know if you guys can hear me because it was a little choppy hearing you guys.
We can hear you, but we cannot present you before the commission without your principal broker. So what we can do is move on to candidate C.
Okay.
More to appear before we're finished with candidate E. We can come back to you and review your informal appearance. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you.
All right, we'll move on to candidate E. We have Cassie, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, Williams with Principal Broker Jeff Howard. She is before us today due to a felony possession in violation of probation. She has not taken the affiliate broker exam yet. Her statement and letter of recommendation can be found on your iPad.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Williams, please give us a brief statement of the circumstances that caused you to appear before us.
Williams, you're on mute. We can't hear you. You're on mute. You are on mute. If you could unmute your device, please.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Yes, my name is Casey Williams. I caught my charges back in 2016 when I was living a very different life than I live now. Um, I did catch a violation for continuing to live that life. I have 19 months clean now, and I am very active in my recovery. I have a sponsor and I have sponsees. I have women around me that hold me accountable for my actions. Um, I'm very persistent in learning more about myself and what caused me to live that life because I do not ever want to go back. I love the life that I have today, and I want to continue to challenge myself and become a better person every day. I live also with my sister who has 6 years sober. So we hold each other very accountable. And I do have a great job that I do love. I work in sales and I'm a service manager. But I would like the opportunity to do something in my life above where I'm at today so that I can continue to show the women in recovery that it is possible to go after your dreams and achieve them if you just keep doing the next right thing. Thank you.
Commissioners, any questions for the candidate?
I've got a quick question on
Commissioner Gwynn.
the page 2. Why is conviction 1 redacted and the other? Was that a mistake or?
No, the conviction 1 is redacted because it's not being considered before you today.
Is that outside the 10-year scope?
Or it's one of the offenses that is not required to come before you.
I
I believe that's what it is actually.
Thank you.
Commissioners, any other questions? All right. Hear from Mr. Howard, sir.
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm proud of everybody in here. I had to do this same thing back in 2012 or so because I'm in recovery myself, and now I'm the broker of Bluff City Realty in Memphis, and actually met Casey through some friends in our kind of recovery community here. Two well-respected and well-known agents referred her to me because of our connection and our story, and I'll be proud to have her on the team. She's got good personal accountability. We've got good professional accountability within our company, and she'll be welcome with open arms if you all consider.
Thank you, sir. Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Howard? Hearing none, is there a motion? Move to approve. I have a motion to approve by Commissioner Ferris, seconded by Commissioner Smith. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries unanimously. Congratulations, ma'am, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll try to go back to candidate D, Jules Charisma and principal broker Vincent Storms.
You said it in his PB.
Hello?
Yes, so who's your principal broker that you're appearing with today?
So Phyllis was going to actually be getting on with me. She's having problems logging in right now. Yeah, so that's where I'm at.
We
Okay.
can do the medical waiver and come back around.
Yes, yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on to our waiver request, and if your principal broker logs on via telephone or an iPad or a computer, we'll be able to present you before the commission today, okay? Uh-oh, you're frozen. I hope you heard my message.
Shall we move on?
Yes.
Very good. Our next item on the agenda is a waiver request. I think we have one from Ms. Jane.
Yes, we have one waiver request. Ms. Jane Craddock is requesting a reinstatement without penalty and an extension to complete our 120 hours of continuing education. Ms. Craddock obtained her broker's license in 2020. She was a retest and reapply candidate at that time. The license was renewed in 2022. Ms. Craddock's license expired October 19th, 2024, having only taken 26 hours of continuing education since 2020. Her statement can be found on your iPads.
So it's 3 years to complete the 120.
You have 3 years to complete the 120. However, you get, I don't want to call it a bonus year, but with penalty, you can continue into a 4th year. But by the time you finish your 4th year, the fees must be paid. And in addition to the fees, all 120 hours should be completed.
You're at another renewal cycle.
Correct.
So this is a medical waiver. Her contention is that her medical needs meant that she couldn't attend to her license requirements.
Yes, I believe she has a note from 2022. And that's what her statement from her physician says.
So just to restate what you said, her license was upgraded to broker in 2020.
Correct.
So that started the 3-year clock.
Again, yes, she once before had a broker's license that she let lapse. So she was a retest and reapply candidate. And so she retested, reapplied, got her broker's license. And so that started the 3-year clock over again.
In 2020,
In 2020, yes.
you had a broker's license prior to that.
Correct. And according to her physician statement, she had surgery November 8th, 2022.
And she hadn't been before us for a waiver.
No, because she retested and reapplied in 2020.
Does she currently have any?
Yes. Yes. She owes, well, she hasn't completed her 120. So that's the major issue, that it's been 4 years and she hasn't completed the 120. And she hasn't paid her renewal fee either. The renewal fee is $75. She would also, if she had completed the 120, she would owe a post-education fee of $600. Well, since she hasn't paid her renewal yet either, she would owe $400. It's $50 per 30-day period up to 120 days. After 120 days, it's $100 per 30-day period. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she's at 151 days.
Oh, okay, so her clock's ticking for her license to expire here.
Correct. So her license is expired and she hasn't done education. So it's 2 different sets of issues. No education, and she didn't renew her license in a timely manner in October. And we wouldn't allow her to renew because she didn't have the education. And so now she is requesting to,
So status quo for her right now, we do nothing today. Her license is an expired grace, you want to call it?
yes,
And she hasn't completed her education, so is that downgrading to affiliate or is the license invalid?
well, I think that's what you all are going to discuss today. Should she be given an affiliate broker's license? Are you going to allow her to not have education and continue to maintain a broker license? Or is she a retest and reapply candidate?
I guess my question is, for licensees that upgrade their license to PB, to broker, and they don't complete 120 hours, what would normally happen to that license?
They would become an affiliate broker.
So,
Or they have the opportunity to retest and reapply and restart that 3-year clock.
Is she she's not working as a district broker?
No, not to my knowledge.
How long of an extension is she wanting? It doesn't say.
It's been 4 years. I'm not sure how much longer she wants to complete over 90 hours of continuing education.
I mean, it says extension to complete 120 hours.
She
So
didn't state
extension for 12 months?
She didn't state a definitive date.
So you're saying that you're saying that if we don't approve this, then she goes back to affiliate broker?
She could have the opportunity to go back to affiliate broker, yes.
But she would still have fees from it.
She would still have.
She would not have the education fees. She would have the fees because she did not renew in a timely manner.
Whatever the education requirement, that's what they afford.
It's 16 hours.
16 hours.
And she has that completed.
So if we deny this request, then she could go back to affiliate broker,
Yes,
not retest,
Yes,
and pay her fees of 600 plus.
she wouldn't owe the post fee. She would only owe the fee for not renewing her license in a timely manner in October. So that fee is $200. Let's see, the fee is $400 because it's been 151 days.
Brokers have to do education also.
Yes, they're required to do 16 hours of continuing education. Yes, I believe she has E&O insurance. The issue is that she was an initial broker and she did complete 120 hours of required continuing education.
Is she an independent practitioner or is she with a firm?
She's with the firm. Or she was with the firm. Her license is technically, or her license is expired because she didn't renew it in October.
She renews her license. Is the firm that she was with okay with that? I mean, or do you not?
I can't speak to that.
That would be her option to figure that out.
My information is to reject her request.
How many days does she have before 151 days? Is that what for her
Her
license?
license expired 151 days ago.
Oh, I'm doing this.
Yes, October of 2024.
She will. She will be licensed.
Correct.
But at this point, she could be downgraded to affiliate license, pay $400
Plus the $75 renewal fee.
$75,
Yes,
and be back on board.
yes,
Is that correct?
yes.
That might be an okay spot to land, give her runway to decide if she wants to step back. But you have to retest and reapply.
To become a broker.
Right. Right. Is there, would there be any information by the commission to give her to October to get the remaining 120 hours or not? What took you so long? We can get something stated in the form of a motion. We can see how the commissioners feel about it.
James,
I semi-stated it, but I didn't complete it. So my motion is to deny her request as she has applied.
How about we do it this way? We make a motion to accept her, to reduce her fee to the $400 plus the $75 renewal and downgrade her license to.
What he said.
I'm going to interpret that as saying so moved.
So moved.
Is there Commissioner Wilson, a second? So we got to restate the motion. The motion is to downgrade this license to affiliate broker and have Ms. Craddock pay $400 late fees plus a $75 renewal fee. That was made by Commissioner Smith, seconded by Commissioner Moffitt. Any further discussion?
question.
Commissioner Gunn.
If she does decide to retest and get a broker's license, she then have the fees again to pay?
It starts the clock over, so she would,
You wouldn't have any fees.
correct. So she would need to complete the 120 hours of continuing education within a 3-year period.
Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. I have the motion passes on a 6-1, no vote. Commissioner Claris voting no.
All right.
Ended.
Yes, if we could go back to candidate D, please. Unfortunately, I think he's frozen now. Principal broker Vincent Storms.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, is Jules Charisma going to log back on? It appears that he's frozen on our end.
I can text him and ask.
Yes.
I thought he was in, so.
He was, but we are not in our whole, meeting venue, so we're having a few technical challenges. So thank you everyone for your patience as we navigate through these technical challenges.
I just texted him and asked him to relog back in.
Okay, we're going to continue with the meeting and we'll circle back around after our education report, okay?
Sure.
All right.
So, as Ms. Baker said, next on the agenda is the education reports, and that's Brittany Morris. Her report.
Thank you, Commissioners. I'm excited to present my education report to you all today. On pages 1 through 13, you'll find the 47 candidates who have applied to be certified TREC instructors. These individuals that are listed have met the qualification for instructors as listed in TREC Rule 1260-05-.04. Next, I'm sorry, yeah. Next, on pages 14 through 26, you will find the 61 courses that providers have applied for your approval to offer continuing education credit hours to licensees. All courses presented today have met the requirements set forth by TREC Rule 1260-05-.03.
Commissioners, we'll start with the list of instructors. I have instructors listed as A1, AI, and AI.
Correct.
In verse 1 through 47, are there any instructors Commissioner would like to pull out for 37? There are none, is there? Move to approve. Second. I have a motion by Commissioner Ferris to approve instructors 1 through 47, seconded by Commissioner Don. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's see. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries unanimously. Next, we have courses A1 through A61. And the Commissioner will identify courses from that list over the second. Hearing none, is there a motion? Move to approve. Third. I have a motion to approve by Commissioner Ferris, seconded by Commissioner Moffitt. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries unanimously.
Lastly, on page 27, you'll find our exam snapshot of the pass-fail rates for all exam types for the months of February and March. And then on pages 28 through 43 on the education report, you will find the more detailed reports for March and February with each exam breakdown of the pass-fail rates per pre-licensing provider. In additional news, we have updated our TREC instructor training manual to be more current with including my contact information and a lot of updated information that is now live on our website. If there are any further questions, that concludes my report.
Any questions from the members? Thank you very much. Ms. Baker, did you want to do your legislative update or are we still waiting?
Anna is going to grace us with her presence for the legislative update. I do believe we now have candidate D back with his principal broker.
Correct.
Are you all? Yes. Hi. Welcome. I'm glad we are able to present you for consideration today. Mr. Charisma, and if I mispronounce your last name, I'm very sorry. He is before us today due to a felony DUI charge. He has taken the timeshare salesperson exam and has passed. His statement and letter of recommendation can be found on your iPad.
Yes, hi. Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Okay. Yeah, just to explain the case, this happened about 5 years ago. I did go through a felony DUI program that I am very proud that I did pass that program with flying colors and did everything that I was supposed to. It has been a year now since I've graduated because it actually took 4 years because of COVID. But you know, I moved out here to Tennessee. I did have my license in Vegas. You know, it's been 5 years since any of this has a lot older man now and have more responsibilities. So I'm all about trying to get my life together and not, you know, any of the things that I did in my past.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Storms?
Yes, he's actually been an employee for some years now, quite good in Vegas. When he requested the transfer to Tennessee, we were more than willing to take him on. And as he was saying, past is past. We also did not realize, apparently there's vast differences in how Tennessee and Nevada see an old DUI. Apparently it wasn't an issue there as it is here. And once we agreed to do the transfer, we then found out there was a problem. So we're just hoping this can be approved and move on.
Thank you, sir. Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Storms? Hearing none, is there a motion? Move to approve. Second. Have a motion by Commissioner Harris to approve, seconded by Mr. Don. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries unanimously. Congratulations, sir, and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So candidate C did not appear today?
That's correct. That is correct. That includes all of our informal appearances.
So could you believe that Vegas has a different?
That really surprised me.
Commissioner, what are you insinuating?
Things in Vegas.
So, Ms. Matlock, your legislative update, please. Hopefully it's not about me.
Not Vegas, no, not Vegas, unfortunately.
Well, Las Vegas, Tennessee.
Whichever way you would like to see. I didn't know that.
Sorry.
Okay, I am just going to provide a brief legislative update on the 5 bills that I brought from you before. So we've had some movement. So first, the first bill is SB 0886. This bill is the one related to principal brokers, continuing education. Membership on boards, dependent, it would be removing the provisions encouraging the boards to appoint individuals of racial minorities to boards. That was passed through the legislature on April 7th, 2025. And it's been enrolled for the speaker's signature on the 8th. So following that, it'll be deferred to the governor for action. Whether he signs it or not, we don't know at this time. So we'll get more information to you on that bill in June.
Explain that bill one more time.
Okay, so in our regulatory boards, most of our programs, it requires, there's a provision that states that the appointing authority should strive, not require, to appoint an individual of a racial minority and someone over the age of 60. And so this bill would remove the portion of appointing an individual of a racial minority from the bill.
Thank you.
And that would apply across the board to all of our regulatory boards and Department of Health as well, and a couple of other programs, including, I think, economic development as well. Okay. SB 1316, that's the Less is More Act. If you remember that it has changed a couple of our provisions related to out-of-town meetings and renewals for expiration. So that bill is still pending before the General Assembly. We don't have a vote or anything, so I don't have any additional information on that.
Can you remind me, please, what it is?
Yes. Okay. So hold on 1 second, and I'll pull up the whole document that has everything.
Sorry, probably.
It's okay. Making a special exception. Okay, so this bill would remove the requirement that the commission meet in each of the grand divisions once a year. And it also limits the assessment of late penalties for renewals of licenses to 12 months. And it would also expand the licensure lapse time period. And so for right now, if your license has expired for more than 1 year, they're required to do like 3 tests and reapply. And this would expand it to 2 years. And then it also removes the requirements that examinations and applications expire in 6 months. And instead it would be 2 years. And then it provides a new option for individuals whose license has expired past that 1 year. It would essentially give them the opportunity to pay a late fee and completion of a 30-hour commission-approved continuing education course. I believe there's been an amendment on this bill related to it. So I believe the 2 years has been reduced to 1 year. But I'm not sure of any other changes at this time. But again, this one is, nobody's voted on it officially, still moving through the General Assembly.
We'll have a further update for you all in June.
Who's promoting this?
This is from the governor's office. All right, and one more, we have SB 0226/HB 0470. This was the professionals Freedom of Religion Act. And so it would essentially, this bill would have required, it made it unlawful for any board or commission to take any adverse action against an individual for their religious or moral beliefs. Also, it had some information in there related specifically to real estate organizations and the MLS, prohibiting the MLS, real estate organizations from denying an individual ability to join that organization based upon religious or moral beliefs. And also it had some implications related to the MLS. I'm not going to go through it because this bill is taken off notice, So it will not be moving forward this, through the section. It was taken off notice, I believe, on 3/26. That might be not right, but it's off notice. Yeah, 3/26/2023. So those are the bills that are currently pending before you. We will at least have one rulemaking package that'll come because of the changes from the bill, but we'll know more in June.
Thank you. Ms. Baker, your report, please.
Good morning. Before you, on your iPads is the executive director's report, and I have a few updates and announcements. Commissioner Begley was formally reappointed as a TREC commissioner, and his term will end on June 30th, 2029. So congratulations, Commissioner Begley, representing East Tennessee. Next week, we have our Arello mid-year meetings. Brittany, Anna, and I will be attending those meetings next week in San Diego, where I also serve on the Examination Accreditation Committee, and we are coming up with ways to help bolster the national pass-fail rate for the national exam. So I should have more information about that later this year. Lastly, excuse me, I have two more announcements. The Tennessee Senior High School Licensure Program will begin accepting applications on April 21st of this year for graduates, for 2025 graduates. So we're looking forward to promoting that program. We are creating web pages and press releases, and so we'll be working on that over the course of next week to do a full-blown rollout on April 21st. So we're super excited about that program. Are there any questions about that?
Do you have any statistics to share with us about last year's program?
Yeah, we went over that.
We did? I missed it. Okay, it's my fault. Go ahead,
I can share that with you. I can email it to you.
please.
Okay, sorry about that. I would like to extend my gratitude to Greater Chattanooga Realtors and their staff for the warm hospitality and for hosting this TREC Commission meeting. I hope that all 80 attendees today find valuable insights from today's meeting. That concludes my report.
So, the first year of the high school program, there was a promotion that came out of the governor's office to do media and things like that I participated in. Is that going to be included this year? And
Most likely, if there are media requests, we will reach out to you.
so commissioners, your areas, if you get contacted.
Yes, if you get contacted, contact me first, and then we can schedule the appropriate person for the interview.
Or the
We'll work
the
through,
department.
we'll work through the Department of Commerce and Insurance to make sure you have the resources available to conduct any interviews that are necessary for this program. It is limited to about 130 people though, and we're changing it up this year. You have to be continuously involved in order to continue with the program. So if you don't log on for 30 days, we're gonna replace you with someone else that hopefully has the drive to complete all 90 of the pre-licensing education hours. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Baker. Go ahead, Commissioner Bell.
What happened in March? 150 open cases. Double than any other month you ever seen.
Yes, and that is because of E&O. Whenever
The growth.
so our E&O, as you know, our E&O cycled in, it ended December 31st of 2024. We take 60 days to comb through our files, making sure before we put anyone on suspension or open up a complaint against principal brokers for licensees not having E&O, we comb through our data to make sure it's correct. And so you see an uptick in open complaints because we also open a complaint against the principal broker whenever a licensee doesn't have E&O insurance.
Was there,
That's a great question. Thank you for bringing that up. I should have said something.
well, and I think we've also had kind of changed how we collect the E&O insurance information. We do more rosters for firms that have blanket policies.
Yes, we do accept rosters for
Was that
providers
is
that,
that clunky at all? Or is that-
yes, it's very.
Okay. So
That's your word of mine.
Yeah, well, it's English is word. I'm gonna take English. Very good.
Systems don't always like to communicate as well as a point and a click. So overcoming some of those obstacles has been challenging.
Any other questions from the day? None. All right. Public comment. Has anybody signed up?
If anyone wishes to speak for public comment period, now is the time. You would be limited to 3 minutes. Is there anyone that is wanting to speak for the public comment period? If not, we can now close the public comment period.
Public comment period is closed. All right. Everybody ready for a break? All right, let's do a break. On my clock, I have 9:25, so let's take a 10-minute break and we'll come back and recess at 9:35. We are in recess.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.
But I look up there and look.
That's right.
It was not on purpose, but now I have a question to do.
Spurs local investment in housing, which would be of interest to a number of you all who are looking to get involved with stuff that the city is doing. So it's very pertinent to governmental affairs, but also just being informed for your clients. So again, Josh, I'm your governmental affairs director here. So reach out to me or any of us in staff, but it's next Thursday, April 17th. It's a week from tomorrow. We're going to have a breakfast. I think it's $15 for members. So it'll be a great, fun time. I'm going to go back here and do the soundboard again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
Even though I haven't seen it.
Very good. All right, we are calling the meeting back in order. We are at the point in our agenda where you read the report. Commissioners are provided with a narrative for each case that's been presented at today's meeting. Commissioners have an opportunity to select cases for further discussion. Those cases that were chosen as not the winners are case number 4, 5, 6, 12, 31, 40, 42, 44, 63, 67, and 69. Are there any other cases, Commissioner? Go ahead. Case number 26 and 29, Commissioner Ferris.
Yeah, let's add number 1, please. Number 20, number 53, and number 55, please.
Will you repeat that? 20?
1, 20, 53, and 55.
Thank you.
And just a point to remind everybody to speak into the microphone and hear it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciation from the back of the room. Any other cases, Commissioner? Hearing none. Is there a motion? Typically, the motion is to accept council's recommendation on those cases not pulled. Is there a motion to that effect? I have that motion. So moved by Commissioner Gahn, seconded by Commissioner Smith. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries unanimously. Case number 4 is where we're going to start. Number 1. I'm sorry, case number 1. DJ, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Ian, for all the work and Ariel as well on these courses. Appreciate that. Number 1, this is a case where there was a question about what was sent to an appraiser and when and how it influenced the deal. And I guess I want to hear more about why you think, why your recommendation is to issue a civil penalty to the respondent. This.
Let me review for this.
Yeah, I have to do the same thing when I pull these up. But in this case, to everyone here, the complainant who makes the complaint, the respondent who responding to the complaint. It took me a while to really grasp that in my mind. The complainant, both are licensees here, and there was an offer with a price. It was not agreed upon, right?
Not accepted.
Not accepted. Nothing was bound. Nothing was signed. A second offer from the same person came at a later time that was higher, that was agreed upon, that was signed upon. And based on this report here, the first offer, along with the bound contract with the higher price, was sent to the lender, thus therefore the appraiser got a hold of it. And the complainant makes the case that the appraisal came in at the lower offer price, and it's the respondent's fault. Right? Am I rehashing this correctly?
The appraiser was sent only the documents that showed the first offer price.
So they did not receive the
That
bound.
is my understanding, which is why I recommended the civil penalty,
Okay.
because the respondent themselves are the ones that uploaded those documents and did not provide the one that had the actual bound contract.
Oh,
Right.
well, if that's the case, then we can just move to accept the recommendation.
Is that your motion?
That's my,
Is there a second?
Second.
Have a motion to accept council's recommendation. Commissioner Parent, seconded by Commissioner Gwen. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries unanimously. Now, the case of Commissioner Smith, you want to start on this one?
Sure. Did you pull this one also?
I did, but it was labeled as discussed. So
Okay.
it's discussed.
I was concerned and refresh my mind, did a friend sign for the seller of this property? So the correct seller of the property did not sign the documents. Is that what I'm reading?
That is the allegation, yes. So the complainant is a licensee that the executor of the estate and their romantic partner approached because they were concerned that there were things going on that shouldn't be taking place. Essentially, the complainant is alleging that the respondent had the friend of the executor sign the listing agreement for them.
The important detail is that the executor of record was incarcerated.
Was incarcerated at the time, yes.
But you can visit it.
You can visit, yeah, but they don't pass paperwork. So,
So that is an important detail. However, once the executor was out of jail, the executor followed up, supplied a statement, notarized statement that said, I never met with them. I tried to meet with them. I was able to meet with them once. They did not really explain what was going on.
You mean they were meeting with a listing agent?
Correct, the respondent. The executor says they were not provided a copy of the listing agreement. The friend may have been, but the executor was not. The executor had questions about renting out the property, but didn't sell within 3 months, and the respondent said it's out of your hands. It's my responsibility now. My concern is that the respondent in their statement said that they were speaking to the legal heirs. The legal heirs are not the executor and not the client of record. So that's why I asked for you all to discuss with them.
was there, the sale had to be approved by the court?
The sale eventually does have to be approved by the court. Yes, sir.
Does anyone's attorneys, where are they standing on all of this time?
The attorney for the estate is an appointed attorney and is kind of, from what I can tell, taking a kind of hands-off approach until someone comes to them with a contract.
The last
since his friend provided letter. The friend saying the executor had told them to sign it, or not.
The friend was not clear. The friend is a family that, to complicate matters further, the friend is a family member of the respondent. And so, it appears that that the respondent went to them and said, I need to get this done. Will you sign this for me since you are executor's friend and I can't get it?
That's how it went. You know? So,
So we should not
So the,
clarify.
so the respondent is at least a failure to exercise reasonable skill care, I think.
I would think. I'm not saying that there's clean hands on everybody's parts here on both
You
sides.
know, the friend, the
Right.
romantic interest and the executive and licensee.
Right.
They're not on before us today. I mean, this is a mess.
I'll make a motion.
Please.
For a $500 civil penalty, for emerging with skill and share.
So, motion by Commissioner Bagley is to assess a civil penalty of $500 to this respondent for failure to exercise reasonable skill and care. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been seconded by Commissioner Smith. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Case number 5. This is the gift card. Okay. So we have a rule. Has that rule been finalized and in effect, or is it still pending?
Still pending.
It's still pending. And that goes into effect
Whenever,
whenever.
it'll probably go into effect, okay, I'm guessing
We don't know.
August or September.
Hopefully this year.
It's currently, at the agent's office right now being considered for signature. So I believe that it'll probably, it later this year. Summer, spring.
Recommendations for electric warning.
Is the letter of warning on someone's record?
It's kept on file, but no, it's not considered.
So I don't have any objection to county recommendations. There a motion.
I was gonna say letter of instruction. I don't mean, the respondent seemed to be trying to follow the book. People are understandably paranoid about messing up around gift cards. I mean, I don't know if letter of warning is necessary, but
And you got a motion?
yeah, I'll move to dismiss.
I have a motion to dismiss by Commissioner Ferris, seconded by Commissioner Gong. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's go. Commissioner Smith.
Sorry. So this person is a broker? Yes, ma'am. That was my question. And to be clear, I don't know that it's perfectly clear there in the summary. It wasn't $1,000 gift cards. It was several gift cards that totaled 1,000 at the end of the gift. I don't know if that would make a difference for you all.
Up to me.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor of the motion to dismiss, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, Ken.
Yes, sir.
Case number 6. Council's recommendation was to dismiss. I was wondering is there precedent or could we do litigation monitoring on this one? The reason why, I just want to see what the court finds in terms of what the actual facts of the case were before dismissing, and see if there's any further possible violation of the Broker Act discovered in the course of that litigation. Council's recommendation is to dismiss.
I just think it was a good reminder for us all, for me, to be real careful who you partner with on deals. And, you know, I might find a good deal on a property and think I'm going to bring in a friend as a contractor. We're going to partner and we're going to flip this house and it's going to be great. But it can turn backwards as fast as you can say stop. And so it just, not all that glitters is gold is what I was reminded of. And, you know, less is more, back to that act, to that bill that is on its to take that phrase. So, gosh, good luck to both of those individuals who are having to deal with that. But I would move to dismiss.
I have a motion to dismiss by Commissioner Ferris. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Smith. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Right, yeah,
Opposed?
8:30.
Hearing none, that motion carries unanimously. Case number 12.
But I'm not gonna can.
I do not see 10 on the list.
That was an interesting one, though.
I can't see the video though.
So, well, we accept the council.
Actually, we didn't have it on. It's already been voted on, but we could technically unvote.
Bring it back.
That's okay.
Yeah, strongly.
I didn't like it, but that's okay.
I would agree. I didn't like it either, but
I didn't like
you sometimes you just can't.
Send up crazy.
No.
So this case is basically the buyers of a house.
Mm-hmm, but
Spent
I
the
can't
night.
pull it up on the video. See if you can do it.
Spent the night in a house that they had just purchased. Apparently the seller felt like the deal was not finished because both sides of the paperwork hadn't been signed and completed. But in the narrative, you said that the buyers took a key or had a key to the property.
Yes, sir. That they, during the final walkthrough, they delayed it several hours and trying to get the paperwork all figured out by the end of the day. At some point, they did go over and do the final walkthrough, and apparently the keys were left on the table. And so they left with the keys, thinking we're gonna, everything will be done here in just a few minutes, so might as well take the keys and lock up. So that's what they did.
And then decided to go back and
And then went back and spent the night.
But
they had closed and the money was.
The money had already been deposited and transferred. Yes, sir.
and responded and saying, "Hey, why don't you guys just spend the night in your home?"
I don't have anybody saying that that's what the respondent said.
But if you close, the respondent doesn't have to tell me to live in my house.
Say that again. Say that again, Joe. I didn't hear you.
Instead, if I close, I don't have to wait on the respondent to tell me what to do.
Yeah, I think as realtors, we like to put the hands in the keys in the hand and say, "Congratulations on your home," but it's not necessary.
So the problem is the seller had not signed to the next step.
The seller did sign the transfer of the paperwork. However, that was being worked out was not received until the next day. So funds and signing had already taken place, and they just didn't have to sign
The seller was representing.
Yes.
And the contention was that the seller still had personal property in the house. Is that what he's talking about?
They didn't even say that. They just said that they were very unhappy that the buyers
Fire spent those night.
before the closing was financed.
From
I,
the selling perspective, you didn't say so.
I'll make a motion to dismiss.
Second. Yes, just.
That's Jones' fault.
Sorry.
All right, so again, on case number 12, we have a motion by Commissioner Bagley to dismiss, seconded by Commissioner Ferris. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries unanimously. Case number 20, EJ. Okay. 20, Kim.
Yes, sir.
Anonymous complaint. Alleged respondent conducting unlicensed activity. Did the respondent own the property?
Yeah.
The respondent company, like they recognize they were practicing unlicensed activity.
The CEO of the responding company was very unhappy with the two individuals, and they are no longer with the company.
Okay. I move to accept council's recommendation.
Okay.
I have a motion by Commissioner Ferris to accept council's recommendation in case number 20, seconded by Commissioner Smith. Those in the gallery might be interested in say $1,000 civil penalty for unlicensed activity. And there's a administrative complaint to be opened against the two former employees as well for unlicensed activity. So we'll see that. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries unanimously. Case number 26, Commissioner Compton.
Since the respondent didn't file, why is it $1,000?
Because they are not a licensee.
Any other questions about case number 26? Hearing none, council's recommendation is to dismiss and declare Commissioner. I have a motion by Commissioner Cotton to accept council's recommendation to dismiss this case, seconded by Commissioner Smith. Any further discussion? What was the scam? Did this person lose their home?
This is a very unfortunate. This seems to be a not sophisticated complainant who, due to unpaid taxes, their home was ordered to be sold at auction. There was a court order sale. They, in their complaint, they seem confused as to why the home was sold, who actually sold it. They sort of latched on to this name because their name appeared more than once in whatever documents they received. It is very.
So you might want to just tell them they have 12 months to catch up and they can get back. But they used to be that one.
They might have been stuff, but I'll see. I can direct them to sort of.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's vote. Case number 26, all those in favor of the motion, dismiss, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries unanimously. Case number 29, Commissioner Bell.
In this case, somebody had advertising rights looking. So for me, yes, they didn't have permission to do it. Correct. Yes, sir. But they had permission for another one.
There were 3 posts that they shared without attribution. As we put it, one of them turned out they did have permission to share that one listing. The other 2 they did not.
But it sounds like they worked it out. finding was okay.
Well, they asked him to withdraw their complaint, but because the respondent had already confirmed with me that they did not have permission to do that, she would make the application.
I can make the motion that we do a letter of warning.
Second. So I have a motion by Commissioner Vaughn to offer this respondent a letter of warning, seconded by Commissioner Payton. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's roll. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. That motion carries unanimously.
And we still have an administrative complaint against the principal program. On the right one, 29.
Yes, the one. I mean,
That one in the motion.
the motion is to, that was the end of it.
So that was it. So letter of warning, nothing else.
Nothing for. Next case number 31. Joan, I think that's yours. Case 31.
Yes. I was just curious, back up. My note, was there touring the home buyers rep sign? Did you get a copy of that? Let's see, let me reread this just a second. Oh, this is the one where they were working with someone and then they went with another person and then they got the other set.
To bring Southern hospitality throughout, like, very unhappy. It's broker, not into the Southern hospitality.
Vegas. That, folks, that's called a callback.
So am I understanding this, Kim, that, they started working with someone, they didn't they didn't appreciate the lack of Southern hospitality. So they went with another person.
It's more convoluted than that,
Okay, because I'm having a hard time.
They approached them in 2022, I believe, online, and said, well, we're looking to move here. We would like this is what we're looking for. Can you get us some listing? The respondent provided those listings. There was no client agreement. It was just sure these meet requirements. 2 years later, they hear back from them and they say, hey, we're still not even, hey, we're still looking. They, as if they had never spoken before, we're moving to the area and we have some listings. The respondent said, okay, we're in my database as wanting this. Is this what you want? The complainant, yes, that's what we would like. So they sent them those listings. In the meantime, this complainant had also contacted several other realtors in the area while asking the respondent to drop everything into a video walkthrough that day. And then can you go do this other house next week and measurements of rooms, and all without having a client in place. And the respondent was gracious and hospitable up to a point until they found out from another realtor that this complainant had contacted several realtors in the area, had even come down and looked at a house with one other agent. And so then when complainant contacted respondent again, acting as if they had never spoken before, respondent firmly but politely told them that they needed to make a choice and work with only one realtor. And at that point, apparently, that's when the complainant felt that they were no longer offering Southern hospitality that they should.
So again, there's no agency agreement between the respondent and the complainant.
Make motion to dismiss.
Commissioner Smith makes motion to accept council's recommendation to dismiss, seconded by Commissioner Bagley. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries.
Member of the audience would also like to say aye.
Yeah. Sign the paper.
We've all been there.
Moving along, we got case number 40, case 40. That's mine, it's Ms. Carter. You're up, Ms. Carter. So in your narrative, you talked about the respondent is a rental company connected to a licensed real estate firm. Is that connected how? Is that like a team operating in the firm?
I think it's like a separate property management.
Separate entity completely?
Yeah, just like under a principal broker. So they're a principal broker attached to them. They have another like doing business as another name.
So when you say they're under another principal broker, is that principal broker supervises their activities or is it?
Yeah.
We're on case number 40. No, we did those. Yep. Joan wanted to go back to case 10. But
I didn't.
and I thought we did. Council's recommendation is to dismiss. It's this relationship between the principal broker and this property management company. Is there any obligation there at all?
I don't think so. They're operating as the resident manager, and so I believe it qualifies under the exemption since they're working for a broker and an employee of a broker.
Even if it was though, then there's no evidence that they've broken the broker contract.
Right. It was mainly just complaint about the issues. Complaints like
And they may be founded complaints.
Council's recommendation was to dismiss. Is there a motion?
Move to dismiss.
Got it. Motion by Commissioner Gwynn to accept council recommendation to dismiss. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Ferris. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries unanimously. Case number 42, Wilson. This one, the only thing I would like is just a letter of instruction for regarding applicable, just a reminder about that. Rather than dismiss, but other than that, there's nothing there. Would anybody like to make that motion or another motion? Case number 42 was recommendation to dismiss. I would like to change that to a letter of instruction, just about one applicable for advertising.
I'll make that motion.
Go.
Go.
Make a motion on number 42 that we send a letter one
Instruction.
instructions.
So I have a motion by Commissioner Smith to send a letter of instruction to this respondent, finding them for advertising.
I think they've changed it since then. It's their social media since then, but I'll
That motion was made by Commissioner Smith, seconded by Commissioner Moffitt. Commissioners wish to have any further discussion on the motion?
So it did show.
Oh, that one, from the book, the complaint was submitted, they kind of propped quite a bit of social media pages that looked like they were out of compliance. And when I went to go investigate, it had already been changed to, if there was a violation, I didn't know what it was. I think the only thing they made to was the QR code, and but then so they had everything submitted for advertising.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That motion carries in a 6-1 no vote. Commissioner Dodd voting. Case number 44. The council's recommendation was to assess a civil penalty of $1,000 for engaging in unlicensed activity. I would like to add on to that. Just think about adding to an improvement for course. Have 180 days to comply, not to count towards CE. And that would be my change on the recommendation. Anybody can make that mean or different.
I've got a question.
Go ahead.
So the license is expired, right?
Of the firm, yes.
Of the firm. So can we do that?
I would go to the principal broker. Maybe we're not responsible for doing that.
It's a third. Yeah.
You can't educate her.
Yeah. If you wanted to open it against the principal broker, like, you know, that is something that require for the education.
That's my question.
That information is there.
Make a motion to accept council's recommendation.
Second.
Okay. I have a motion by Commissioner Smith to accept his recommendation for the $1,000 civil penalty for unlicensed activity, seconded by Commissioner Gwen. Any further discussion? Hearing none, so all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries unanimous. Case number 53, which refers.
Yeah, I just wanted to pull this one for us all to be reminded, particularly in light of the past 12, some odd 18 months of discussion about buyer's representation agreements and how important they are, and how the order in which those are signed and presented to clients to get that information. Here's a case where that does not seem to be the case. Two licensees thought they were representing these individuals. The individuals, husband and wife, had other thoughts. Nobody knew who was in person. It just kind of just created this problem. So I'll move to accept council's recommendation.
I have a motion by Commissioner Ferris to accept council's recommendation. Is there a second?
Down second.
Good, seconded by Commissioner Moffett. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I think this is also a time to remind us as practitioners to be sure who you're dealing with, they understand what they're signing. And we have no control over partners not communicating, husbands and wives, not knowing that one's working with one person and somebody else is working with another. I think it's important for all of us to remember to explain what our forms are.
So, motion in case number 53 carried unanimously. Case number 55, Commissioner Ferris.
Harold, this sounded suspect to me that respondent did not know more about what was going on with the HOA and the pending litigation. I understand we don't have authority over HOA. Thank God. Yeah, I guess I mean, I see here your remark now that this could be sued in the civil court. And if the respondent is in fact guilty of not conveying pertinent information, that needs to be, they need to be held accountable for that. I think there's enough practitioners in this room where you've listed a property in an HOA and there is a lawsuit that is going to have ramifications to all the homeowners. There's some legal matter that's transpiring, and to know that before, as you list a property and then sell it, if that is not disclosed, and that's just terrible. And if that's the case, then we don't know enough for us to discipline. I hope that this complainant can find that remedy if there is one. So is there anything any more to that, or we just need to move forward?
I'm not aware of anything, but if they did have a civil litigation and then they were go through anything that's related to one of them already, that's what we have.
Close the flag.
Then it would probably, they could report that anyway, so.
They would.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just, I'll move to dismiss.
Commissioner Ferris moves to accept council's recommendation to dismiss, seconded by Commissioner Smith. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries unanimously. Case number 63, Joan, Commissioner Smith.
That was me. That was me. So as I read this, I think it's a reminder also to be careful what you post on social media or send us a text when you say, hopefully Inspector so-and-so is handy, is functional, everything is functional, hire a crappy inspector, LOL. So, I guess, help me, Hannah, isn't there a, one of ours that says duties is owed to all parties, whether we're representing them or not? So although we were not representing this buyer, we shouldn't have been posting.
You need all parties and honesty.
And honesty. Yes. And let me say, y'all must have a really good inspector here because your air conditioner is extremely good.
Yes, it is.
Well, I'm sitting under the van. Sorry, I just finished one, thank you.
So, Joan, do you want to?
I'm, Anna, are you looking for my code? Thank you. So I think that there should be something done according to the alternate. Now, is that a letter of warning or is that a civil penalty?
What do you think?
I'm saying that you were not very nice. This person was not very nice.
That might be a code of ethics.
I don't think it is code of ethics. I think it is in some ways, but also we have a responsibility to be sure that all people are treated fairly. So I think it could go either way. Like,
It's 62-13-4034. Provides services to each party to the transaction with honesty and good faith.
so commissioners, do you feel like this falls in that or not?
Hold the case.
I put the case because I questioned it, but also I understand that, and I'm sure you practitioners know, our role is protecting the public. We're not guided by a code of ethics, and that's what Commissioner Dawn is saying to me. So this to me was one of those that could have gone one way or the other. I think it's a reminder always, if you're going to post something, you better be really careful about what you're posting. Instagram.
If you would like to refer to that statute, it's on page 47 of your
So we also got a history with this particular responder, kind of consent order for
right.
failure to exercise reasonable skill and care, which is also in 60. So like that statute.
And also a letter of warning.
Letter of warning. John, is there a motion that you want to?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
$500 civil penalty for duties owed to all parties.
So Commissioner Smith makes a motion to assess a civil penalty of $500 for violation 62-13-434. Failure to provide services to all parties to the transaction in honesty and good faith. All those, seconded by Commissioner Moffitt. Is there any further discussion on the motions? Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. Have a 6 aye, 1 no vote in favor of the motion. Motion carries with Commissioner Gahn voting no. Number 67, Commissioner Smith, that's you again.
This is, let me refresh my mind. Okay, did we have any proof that, that that the complainant did not have funds to complete this transaction? Just curious.
I don't believe anyone provided any additional information. Complainant made a paragraph and responded incorrect. That was really the gave us an purchase sale agreement. I think that's all I got from the
Oh, we got the purchase and sale agreement.
I believe there's any like thing that they didn't have any money.
Did they complain about the direct contract?
They didn't provide whatever they said they originally had. Back what happened is that they probably had a conversation with the seller directly about potentially buying it. And then there was one of the sellers representing other on it. And then
So
and then they realized that like it kept taking a little bit longer.
Just the purchase and sale.
Yeah, it was just a buyer, a point of a buyer. They were representing other people. Other ones.
Just mention like it was. Are you there?
Council's recommendation.
Motion to accept council's recommendation to dismiss. It is number 67, seconded by Commissioner Bagley. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries unanimously. Case number 69, that is mine. So this is the represent.
One is the new recommendation is such a photo flag. And there's
So this is the elusive respondent. Yes.
an identification.
But there is a license. So the case was originally presented to us, and this must have been the Kingsport case because we decided to downgrade the license. We did some bad with that meeting. So we now council's recommendation is to close and flag just in case this person resurfaces them.
Oh, yes, we have had contact in 2023 and we can't find them.
I can find them.
They're
No
not
death
responding
notices,
to anything.
no death notices, nothing like that.
And they're like been expired, but the reason I say close and flag is in case they try to come back, we'll have knowledge that like this is the history that they have.
Quick question.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
When you close something, is it different than closing and flagging? Is it going to a different category?
There's like a little,
What's the
like,
difference between closing, boom, and closing and flagging?
it just shows that it's like, so if they close it, like dismiss it, there's like no alert, but if it's like.
It's got an alert to it?
Shows up, and someone kind of put their information.
All right. Okay.
Is there a motion to accept council's recommendation, to close the flag?
So moved.
Okay.
And a commitment. Motion by Commissioner Wood to accept council's recommendation, to close the flag, case number 69, seconded by Commissioner Moffitt. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Getting punished. Any other cases from the legal report? Yeah.
Tried.
Next item on the agenda was to talk about new business. Is there any new business for us?
Thank you for all the attendees coming out today to sit in on the board commission meeting. You will be granted 8 rounds of continuing education within the week. So congratulations.
We also say here that the next meeting is June 11th in Nashville. Commissioners, that on the calendar, I think DJ can take care of the next meeting. Commissioner,
That unless the governor's office does not appoint somebody else, that'll be my last meeting. And thank you for mentioning that. I'll take an opportunity. This is my second meeting in 5 years to be in Chattanooga. I remarked to Ellis before the meeting started that I think you guys, your association, always comes out with the most participation, the most people, and I think that just demonstrates an energy for your careers and for your camaraderie. And I've always enjoyed coming to Chattanooga, and so I wish you well. You know how you're doing, and it's been. I'll take an opportunity to say it's been a great pleasure working with these other 8 colleagues. Such a delight. So the state's got a great team. You all know this because you deal with the real estate commission getting licenses and overseeing your offices. The Department of Commerce and Insurance, particularly TREC, is so well run, so well managed. Nobody's perfect, but and the state as a whole and is not. I mean, and it's pretty stellar. But I mean, the state as a whole is run well, but TREC is really good. So.
thank you. So, and I don't expect vacancy to be filled, but will you continue to serve as vice chair until then, or do you?
Expiration is until June 30th.
Yeah, I'm here till June 30th, and I'm getting an indication that they'll have somebody.
Okay.
I'm not. It's not my say.
We can't speak to that.
Yeah.
Vice Chair Ferris is with us until June 30th, 2025.
You still updated for you, right?
June 11th, I'll be here. In Nashville. Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, so I mean,
And
okay.
5 years is plenty of time to do anything.
Yes, thank you for your service. What the people in the audience do not know is that the commission members receive a board packet of in excess of 150, 200 pages every other month. And prior to this year, it was monthly. So every other month, they review all these cases prior to coming to the commission meeting so they can have thoughtful discussion. These folks work really, really hard on behalf of the Tennessee Real Estate Commission every other month, or sometimes every month, just depends on the year. So thank you guys for your service as well. And I know Governor Lee puts a lot of trust in you all to make great decisions for licensees across the state.
Thank you, Anna. I'll say I've shared this. Who's here? Just think about Anna all the time. Nobody can forget Denise either. So I've shared this. We've talked about this as a commission at length. I've had a brief conversation. I shared this with Joan last month, just in passing, about how we are now meeting every other month, and the staff likes that. I like that. I think all of us are fine with that if we can manage the business that comes before the commission. I'm putting this out there just for y'all to think about as I'm heading out the door. So it's not kind of especially for those in East Tennessee, make sure that they get to every month. No. So last month I had two individuals who knew, one who knew me, one who did not, who needed to have really would have benefited to have been before the commission to discuss a licensing issue. And if we're meeting every month, there's just more opportunity for our colleagues and people who are trying to get into the business. You saw 7 or 8. There's more opportunity for them to get before the board to get on with their deal, right? And so if we're only meeting every other month, it could be a burden for some who having to wait to hear an answer. So I'm just kind of, even even if I were staying on, I would be more open to reconsidering, should we go back to meeting monthly, just to be able to be available and to get people on with their lives and on with what they want to do. Because there was an instance in the February meeting where a broker came. We had the information, which, you know, we could have made a decision on, but this gentleman came before, spoke in the public comment period, and we all were like, okay, yeah, I think let's let this, we sided with him basically. And it was, you know, it was helpful to have somebody in person. So just a thought, how to make it a good thing, be better.
I will say, with this cadence, we're more in line with other regulatory boards that are within the state. They meet either quarterly or every other month. So it's been a good practice. I know we tested it out last year and it worked out well. So we'll see what happens for the rest of this year, and we will revisit this conversation in August for sure.
So we post that schedule like a year in advance.
That's correct.
So it's not like somebody doesn't know what the schedule is. So they can wrap their plans around what the dates are.
Right. The instances that really brought this to bear that I'm recalling, you know, it's February, it's March, and somebody's, you know, getting through the holidays and they're thinking, I'm going to reactivate my real estate license. And they go to look at it, and there's some things that, you know, man, they're just shy of an hour or some, or it's just some red tape. And there's no disciplinary action. There's no reason why this person shouldn't be able to get a license. But because we were in Chattanooga, I told both of us, said, come to Chattanooga if you can't get the answer you want through the help of the staff. That's what I was implying. Come before, because we're the board that can say, as Johnny Reese said, we do whatever we want to do. With regard to the real estate license. You know, so instead of having to wait from March till June to come before us.
But what I don't understand, why would they have come before us anyway if they were no disciplinary, they're just trying to reinstate their license? You all can do that.
There are avenues to do that.
Yeah.
The waiver request.
We would never see that person anyway. Would we?
Hopefully not. If they can.
Those.
But I mean, there's this orange book here for a reason that we've superseded at times to say, yeah, despite having had their license lapsed for a year and a half or whatever, for 4 years, you know, we move to grant their license. And like, if it was such a, if
they waited 4 years and they're saying they can't wait another month.
That's true.
That's kind of like,
I get it.
Your lack of planning.
That's right. Yeah. Right.
That was.
Yeah. So yeah. And so that makes.
I will say those that are presented with waiver requests are over and beyond the circumstances that are in our manual. So these are people that have been expired for over a year. These are people who are asking for special. Yes, thank you. They have special requests. They don't want to take continuing education. They want to keep their grandfather status. So these are extenuating circumstances. And to Commissioner Bailey's point, if they were a little tardy for the party, another 30 days in order to be heard before the commission. But thank you so much for those comments. And we will hopefully approve a calendar for 2026 sometime during the August meeting. August or October meeting.
Do any commissioners want to make this meeting longer?
We'll miss DJ, and again reiterate that, you know, Kathy in our thoughts. Of course. That she wanted to be. I know she wanted to be here. She's a great lady. You all are lucky to have her down here. We're lucky to have her in Nashville. Can't say enough good stuff about her. So.
Very good. Well, commissioners, safe travels home. Everybody, safe travels here. We are adjourned. We'll see Commissioner June 11th.
Really nice.
Oh, nice to meet you. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.